everybody, we're back. I'm Selly, and this is...
Jason Fitness.
Jason Fitness.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Always.
Always.
So I want to talk today about something that's been a contention for me.
Okay.
Which has been the scale.
The scale, all right.
Yes. So I was always married to that number. Like I needed that number to go down.
Okay.
Desperately. And I think that's a thing for a lot of people.
Okay.
Like when you're losing weight, that is supposed to be your scale of measure.
Yes.
There came a point in time when we started working together where that scale was going up.
It was.
But I was getting smaller.
It was.
And luckily, because I record everything, you get to see that progression.
She does.
You get to see that progression. But we have this really great tool. You have this really great tool called InBody Scan.
Phenomenal tool. All the cool kids talk about it.
All the cool kids, yeah. And I just did mine yesterday. And I wanted to talk about that because it's super important when you really get into this fitness journey that you understand that scale and a lot of these antiquated systems like the BMI.
Antiquated.
They just don't fit all of the, it's like trying to put a square peg in a circle hole. You know what I mean? Round hole. So on here, the InBody does a few things. It does weigh me.
It does.
So I get the actual number. So I get that checkbox.
Okay.
But it also talks about the water weight, the dry lean mass, and the body fat mass.
Okay.
So how does that, what does all of that do for me in terms of knowing what the actual composition is?
All right, so pretty much you stand on a scale, you get a base number, right? All right, you weigh, let's just say you weigh 100, somebody weighs 150 pounds. I'm just arbitrarily picking a number. Not as big of a word as antiquated, but like arbitrarily, right? I'm taking a second shot at it. So let's just say somebody weighs 150, right? Okay, great. Like you can, and by the way, if you fuck this up out in TV land, just turn off the video and go in the other room and cry because like we can't be friends, right? So if you have a pound of feathers and you have a pound of lead, which one weighs more? I want you to think about your answer first. Say it. Don't fuck this up. You have a pound of feathers and you have a pound of lead. Which one weighs more? Now the scary thing is a lot of people watch this video is going to be like, oh my God, the pound of lead weighs more. Yeah. And then some people are like, no, it's the pound of feathers, there's so much more. It's literally 1 pound in both scenarios.
Yeah,
but you need a lot more feathers than you need lead, right? And that's kind of the example I make for people when it comes to body, the body weight. It's like, okay, yeah, it's the same weight, but how is that weight made up? Denser tissues, not so much dense tissues. So what the InBody does, it sends a bunch of little, it's a 60-second test, you take your socks and shoes off, because when somebody's working out for the first time, the last thing you do is like, you meet somebody brand new, it's usually a good-looking personal trainer, and the last thing you want to do is, because, usually at the gym, because you're feeling some kind of way about something in your life, and then we want to tape you and poke you and measure you, and it's just not a good start to the relationship, right? So what we say is, hey, take your socks and shoes off, stand on this big fancy machine, it takes 60 seconds to do, and it sends a bunch of different, like, you don't even feel them, like little currents to your body to test muscle mass, bone density, mineral density, muscle tissue, all that stuff, to tell you how it's made up, right? So, somebody can lose 10 pounds, right? We have people who come in, they're like, oh my God, Jay, this is great. I didn't eat anything for the past 3 days and I lost 10 pounds. Okay, cool. Not cool, right? But, how did you lose those 10 pounds? Did you lose muscle mass? Was it water weight? Was it body fat? Some of those answers are better than others. If you lost 10 pounds of muscle mass, that's not a good thing.
No.
That's taken away from the look you're going for. We want to try to burn body fat. Now, losing water weight, yeah, that's cool. You do want to lose some of your excess weight, but you don't want to be dehydrated. I make the example of a lot of people go off of body fat percentage for a number, right?
Right.
Which is a great number if that's all you can test. We can test how much fat you have inside of your body. I can tell you how much fat you have in your left arm versus your right arm.
Yep.
I can tell you how much muscle mass you have in your right leg versus your left leg.
Yep.
All that stuff. So, same thing, don't fuck this up. We can't be friends, right? If I go to step on the scale and I weigh 100 pounds, which I obviously don't, right? I weigh 100 pounds and I have 10 pounds of fat on my body. What's my body fat percentage?
Wait, I wasn't listening.
You're a very highly educated person, so don't fuck this up.
Say the question again.
So, you weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah.
and I step on the InBody, and it tells me, hey, Jay, you out of your 100 pounds, you have 10 pounds of fat on your body.
Okay.
What's your body fat percentage?
10%.
Thank you. We could be friends. It would be really awkward for her if she just messed it up, right? So your body fat's 10%, right?
Okay.
Now let's say you ate some. I'll take it. Just put it right there. I got it. Let's say that you go to Chipotle and you ate over there. If you ever ate the West Caldwell one, you know what I'm talking about. And you got to you got to go to the bathroom. Like Mother Nature's calling, you got to go. You come back 5 pounds lighter. She really did have to go. But now you weigh 95 pounds.
Okay. Oh, God,
But you
don't
still
ask
have
me
that.
to
You
do
still
that.
have that same 10 pounds of body fat, right?
Yeah.
So now you weigh 95 pounds versus 100. You still this one you're allowed to mess up.
Okay.
You still have that same 10 pounds of your body fat, right?
Okay.
What just happened to your body fat percentage?
It went up.
It went up, yes. I've asked her this question before, so if she messed it up, it would have been really bad for her. Because that remaining 10 pounds makes up a bigger percentage of the weight
Right.
that's left.
Right.
So we see a lot of people so many times where they come in looking just at body fat percentage, and they're like, oh my God, my body fat percentage shot up, this program's not working, this diet's not working, whatever's not working. When in actuality, a lot of the excess water weight they had, the retaining water, it came out of their body, so now they obviously weigh less, but it didn't do anything for the fat, so the body fat percentage shot up. Or I see a lot of people where they come in, right, and like a lot of guys want to start taking creatine, and girls also, and their muscles are retaining more water now, and they're like, yo, my body fat percentage shot down 3% since I started taking this creatine. It's a great fat burning tool. It didn't do anything really for your body fat. It's just that your water, there's more water being retained in your body, so the fat that's there, in terms of pounds, makes up a bigger percentage of whatever weight is left. So, like, we use this test to kind of show people what's really going on with their body, and we use a couple sets of numbers, 3 particular numbers, to determine whether we want to increase somebody's activity, decrease their activity, increase their calories, decrease their calories, or what we got to tweak or modify to keep the needle moving in the right direction. So that's what the InBody is.
I love that. And just to go over, so I started this a year ago.
Okay.
Next month it'll be a year.
It will be.
It will be. And so I started at 193.1.
Okay.
And my muscle mass was 67.5.
Okay, it was, yeah.
So over the past year, 11 months, we'll say that, I've now dropped to 173.9. So
Yeah, good.
that's
Very
20
good.
pounds in 1 year.
It is.
And I've maintained. So it's gone up and down. You guys won't see this. Perhaps we could have
You put it up, yeah. Your numbers.
The numbers have gone up and down weight-wise as well, but when the weight goes up, so does the muscle mass. So that's been the ones, because I remember one time when we did this and you said, don't be upset. Mm-hmm. Don't be upset, because you knew I'd be looking at that scale number as opposed to, and I remember it went down to like, I think when I started I was like 191 or something like that, and then I shot up to like 194, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And that's exactly this conversation that we're having now.
Yeah.
But it's gone down since, like it went up from 180 to 183. Then went back down, back up to 183, and now down. So by the way, there's like a trending thing there. I go down 10, then I go up 3, and then I drop again. So just saying. But my muscle mass.
Well, those are the fucking Lucky Charms right there. So
is that what it is?
that's probably what
So
it
right
is.
now I am in a cut, and I am. There's no Lucky Charms happening here. There aren't.
Okay, cool.
Look at the numbers.
Okay.
There was Lucky Charms in February, so there's a 10-pound difference. But it's nice to see these numbers, and for the first time, I'm happy with this. Even though my muscle mass went down, I'm happy with it because of the fact that from day 1 to today, basically 365 almost, I've dropped 20 pounds, but my muscle mass has stayed the same.
It is the same as it was when you started.
Yes.
Because you've gone up and down, but yeah.
Right.
And that's just life. I mean, there's periods where, people, they're celebrating and they eat more, or they're depressed and they're eating less, or they're depressed and they're eating more, or they're going to celebrate and they eat less because they want to celebrate and look thin in their bathing suit. Like, there's all kinds of things that happens along the way. Like, it's not a static process. you're gonna have ups and downs in everything in life, but the fact that you can take a look from a year ago to now and see what that total progress was, you didn't go backwards in muscle mass, but you went forwards in how much fat you dropped.
Right.
That's the goal.
Right.
You know, I think so many people get so caught up in these short-term, you know, snapshots of time that they're not able to give their body the chance to really grow and adapt to everything, and they judge their success or failure too soon before it really has a chance to work out. So, but looking at the macro, right, the totality of like a 12-month period, that's a great difference. But there's certain times there where you would have thought you were doing good, and there's certain times you would have thought you were doing bad.
Right.
And, you know, but given the longer term, you're able to get a more accurate idea of what's going on. And that's what this does. It shows you what's really going on, and it takes everybody's emotional issues, their self-doubts, their self-limiting beliefs, you know, negative pre-programming, the comparisons to other people that, you know, we shouldn't be comparing our situation to somebody else's. It takes all that, puts it away, and says, hey, here's your numbers, here's what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, there's two things that don't lie when it comes to weight loss. Little kids and the numbers.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and always trust the numbers, and we're definitely trusting them here. Mm-hmm. What did I say? Circle.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
Well, I'm saying, I don't know who you got it from. Square peg in a round hole.